Okay, so for the first topic, S3 tests in Bodo 2, we're trying to get Duthology testing for the new Ubuntu, which has a newer Python version, which doesn't work with Bodo 2. A long time ago, we had tried to convert all of the tests from Bodo 2 to 3, so most of the tests are 3, but there are some leftovers, which is going to block testing on newer distros. So I have a pull request that just removes them without trying to convert anything. And so unless we take extra effort here, we're just going to be losing some test coverage, which is not ideal. So if anybody is interested in looking into it, auditing what's there and converting what needs to be converted, that would be wonderful. But I think this is just a heads up that
I think incremental approach would be better here, right? Otherwise, do we know like how many test cases are going to be missing when we remove? So maybe we can incrementally add to Boto3 directory the missing ones rather than all at once. And in that respect, our productive in Bloomberg is also trying to add like other APIs as well, for example, C++, Java in S3 tests. I don't know whether they reach out to you, but maybe seeing other directories there that's exercising other SDKs. Like overall, again, incrementally increasing the coverage would be the best approach, I think.
So I didn't count how many test cases were under Bodo 2 or attempt to audit anything. This is just going to be a blocker, and if nobody is going to put in the effort, then we're just going to lose coverage. So if people are interested in preserving what's there, I would love the help. But the incremental approach, I mean, that's going to take some time, which will block testing for Ubuntu 24.
I see. So we need to have the coverage before. Okay. Yeah. Then. I'll reach out to our product team whether they have any like bandwidth to help this effort, but
okay. Yeah, and I'd be interested to hear more about coverage of other SDKs. I don't think that belongs in the Python S3 tests project. In Duthology, we do have some other scripts that run some Java SDK stuff. There's a Java S3 tests repo, though it doesn't really get any new test coverage. We generally just do the Python. But I know that Matt found that Java SDK had a lot better control over checksum stuff, ability to exercise the different streaming flavors. So his checksum tests are against Java in a different script. I see Jesse's message in chat asking whether it's worth rewriting the tests. I mean, that would need a volunteer.
I guess I'm suggesting that it's still work, but if it's going to be huge effort either way, is it actually perhaps, I don't know if I want to say less effort, but more expedient to just write new tests for the things, if we accept that the old tests are going to be lost in either case, so we lose the historic regression, but still recover some coverage on those things. I don't know anything about the system, so I'm kind of, again, this is sort of an ignorant question, but I am wondering if it, is actually a path forward.
So, I mean, yeah, I would love a volunteer. This tracker issue, we've known about it for a couple months. This split off from a separate one recently, and nobody was looking at it. And since this is a blocker, I proposed just removing them. So we could certainly open a separate tracker issue to re-add the test coverage.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to volunteer for it at this point either, so I can't make the commitment myself, but that is one way.
Yeah, it's a shame that when we did actually have resources to rewrite the Bodo 3 tests, we didn't actually take it to completion. And so anyway, I did just want to let everybody know about this. It's not ideal. And I haven't taken the time to audit what is actually there and what isn't covered under Bodo 3 to know whether we're losing anything valuable. Any other discussion topics? So I did just add a quick thing since I see several Bloomberg folks here. There was a contribution to add admin REST APIs for account stuff from one of your colleagues. Could I ask one of you guys to help run that through Toothology? It changes one of the test scripts that that only really gets exercised by Toothology, so we may need to iterate on it a bit.
Yeah, I'm aware of that change. Nick made those changes, but so our understanding was, let's say, given a PR merge request, if the needs QA label is added, and that PR is changing QA task, like that's going to run on Tautology. Is it gonna, like, the changes will be exercised, or is it gonna run as stable tautology or QA tasks, like without those changes? So that's kind of iffy for our end. Like, the needs QA label wouldn't help here, right? We have to test it manually ourselves, like submit to tautology these changes, or
Well, yeah, the needs QA label would exercise it. But generally for things like this, I would schedule just a single job that runs that Rados GW admin REST task just to see that it works. And if you need to iterate on it, you can just do one job at a time. And then once we see it pass, then we could do the whole suite for regression.
I see that makes sense. So needs QA would exercise the whole thing, not just targeted change.
Yeah.
I'll sync up with Nick to get it done. Run these changes through tautology then.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a big help. I mean, the needs QA label also tends to be delayed by a week or more. And if we need to iterate on it, then it would be great to have a tighter loop.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other topics?
I guess I have a brief update on copy object encryption.
Wonderful. What's new?
I pushed out my latest set of patches last week. It needs to be rebased, so I've rebased it this week. And if it builds, I'm going to push that out. And I plan to update the PR, so I'm going to take off DNM. I'm going to take off the thing that says first phase, and I'll try to take off the draft tag. So hopefully that, as far as I'm concerned, it should be pretty much ready to merge. Probably would be cool if somebody ran it through Tautology. And that's what I've got to say.
Great. So if you need help running it through Tautology against the S3 test branch, I'm happy to do that. Maybe just push to Ceph CI and I'll take it from there.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right. Anything else for today? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.